What's up, everyone? You tuned into another one. Now, as you all know, Olivia Smith had joined Arsenal for about goddamn 1 million, a million point $3 million transfer, first ever for Arsenal. And you know what? They treated her like a regular signing, but it gets even deeper. They buried her signing through the Women's Euros when England played Sweden? Walk with me. Exactly, you clocked it. That's the type of storyline that exposes the football machine, how the football machine works versus how they pretend it works. Arsenal didn't treat Olivia Smith like a 1 million breakthrough because they didn't want the narrative to run through her. They wanted the narrative to run through England's Euros storyline. They're golden girls. So they tucked Olivia Smith's deal in the shadows on the day the eyes were somewhere else. On the day they knew the eyes were somewhere else. That's how they control the light. Instead of letting her stand as a signal for women's football, instead of letting her stand as a signal that women's football had entered the 1 million transfer era, they diluted her signing into the background noise of England's destiny storyline, aka rigged storyline. Timing equal distraction dropped the biggest signing in Canada's women's football history during the Euros quarterfinals, so that it doesn't dominate the headlines. Narrative control. Arsenal and FA wanted England's success to be the women's football news, not Canada's 19-year-old stepping into Europe as a $1 million asset. Framing. She wasn't even announced like a franchise centerpiece, like Mia Official was for Seattle Reign. Signed for, I forgot how much she signed for, but at least they had a press conference for your girl. Olivia Smith, what'd she get? Pictures, couple photos. Mia Official got a whole freaking interview. It's similar to how they did Germa. Germa didn't get no damn press conference, but they paid, like, y'all paid how much money? She was getting press conferences outside of I saw Naomi Germa outside of Chelsea when it came to like the interviews and shit. Not with Chelsea. They didn't host no damn press conference for Naomi. Anyways, I continue. Like I said, but here's the glitch. Oh, sorry. Framing. She wasn't even announced like a franchise centerpiece. They made it look like just another signing, so the system could ease into it without shaking too many tables. Why? Because black excellence disturbs the artificial illusion of whatever the fuck that we are living in, especially in England, because they're so obvious about it. But here's the glitch. The essence of the signing still stands, obviously. And guess what? Since it's today, I woke up and chose enlightenment, right? Because today's August 17th. And look, this is July, August. So I waited practically 30 days, a whole damn cycle, to remind you the greatness of Olivia Smith. 1 million? Exactly. Name another woman that has done that. Huh? That's right. Anyways, here's the glitch. The essence of the signing still stands. Olivia Smith is the first $1 million transfer in Arsenal women's history ever. First to do it ever. Olivia Smith, the first one. Arsenal ain't never dropped a bag on a player like this before. And you know what? Black excellence is being exposed to y'all in 4K. Even though y'all tried to be like, no. That's why Chelsea's and all these teams are paying so much money for black excellence. It is what it is. Y'all, they try, because especially in women's football, they try to ignore the fact that black excellence is needed, aka based upon the blueprints they carry, and then based upon their counterparts that haven't been forged in fire. They lack that fundamental understanding. They lack that fundamental fire to be able to break through. This is based upon the circle that they're around and them not having been pushed to the limit. Olivia Smith had to prove that she was a baller just based upon looks, homie. Anyways, whether they tried to bury her or not, spiritually, it was a seismic shift. She cracked the ceiling type shit. Like I said, you got the date locked in. Olivia Smith's signing announced came on July 17, 2025. That same evening, England was playing against Sweden. And remember, a mockery of essence football match. Remember when we saw those penalties, the disrespect? We were live decoding that match. Remember, don't get it twisted. So not only did Arsenal bury Olivia Smith's signing, we got to see that scripted ass mockery of essence match where England and Sweden figure out that they can't play football and they can't make penalties. It's a disrespect to the collective and a disrespect to freaking Olivia Smith. But am I surprised? I'm not surprised. You see how they have sacredness on one hand and then we have artificial on the other. It's a very perfect parallel of how they like to get down. And like I said, it doesn't have to be like this if they just be authentic. But obviously they choose the latter and they want artificial. Because you know what? They don't want football to heal the soul of you or even their players. And that ultimately will continue to be exposed based upon what? Their actions. Continue. All right. What makes this timing significant? Okay, let me say it again. Let's break it one more time. Olivia's signing announcement came on July 17, 2025. Of course, Sweden played England in the Euros, right? Kickoff, yada, yada, yada. This was the night everything felt manipulated behind the scenes. The goals, the substitutions, the shootout. Remember, because we were live during that. We saw the cut to the Chloe Kelly, and all of a sudden, all this ritual starts happening. What makes the timing significant? Olivia Smith's world record $1 million signing announced the same day as high stakes match, artificial, because they played artificially. By dropping the announcement when all eyes were on England and Sweden, Arsenal effectively buried the story in the Euros narrative, masking the magnitude of the signing. Because you know why? They jealous of black excellence. Okay, I called it, especially because I was live, but I never talked about Olivia Smith until today. Like I said, I called it. The spirit responded. Like I said, I was live during that match. Sweden went up 2-0 fast, remember? England responded with the Chloe Kelly involvement and Michelle who? Tokenism Michelle, equalizer. A chaotic extra time and a pressurized penalty shootout, aka ritualized penalty shootout. That sequence was the same night the biggest signing in women's football history went largely uncelebrated on its own terms. You know what I'm saying? So Arsenal treated Olivia Smith like a regular transfer, dropped on the same day as England's big match. That's not coincidence. That's energy control. Vibe check. What this timeline tells us. This wasn't just a scheduled choice. It was a spiritual maneuver. The system diverted attention to protect itself. Like I said, my energy is recording it 30 days in the cycle later. So, pretty much, let's say, why Arsenal hid their £1 million signing during England's quarterfinal match ritual? The mass meets the portal. Like I said, y'all, Olivia Smith, give her flowers. Like I said, Olivia Smith, I want to show y'all something in this article real quick. Canada's 20-year-old Olivia Smith is now the most expensive. She's the most expensive female soccer player in the world. The most expensive female soccer player in the world is Olivia Smith. And they treated her like a regular signing? Nigga, no. Smith succeeds Naomi Girma, 1.1 milli, as the most expensive female player in the world. She's the first Canadian in men's or women's game to transfer for that record feat. And this is why they tried to bury her, and ultimately did bury her in the during the European Euros, because God forbid black excellence shows up when we're supposed to see England. Like I said, England, if y'all actually had essence on the pitch and not just few, maybe y'all wouldn't have to do shit like this. But remember, y'all, not only are we fighting, we're fighting a virus programmed into the system. This is not how shit is supposed to be happening. We should have appreciated. Arsenal should have gave Olivia Smith at least a press conference, but obviously that was never going to happen. The most whitest team was never going to appreciate one of their most biggest signings in the whole goddamn planet. Let's just be real. And like I said, it continues to show who's who. And I hope you can see through. Deuce.